Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. Each week, my guest and I discuss one pivotal moment in their life, what they learned from it, and their words of wisdom. From a young age, our guest understood what it meant to be seen through a label. Born with cerebral palsy, he could have allowed the diagnosis to define the boundaries of his life. Instead, he chose something different. At just 8 years old, he became involved with Easter Seals, an organization dedicated to supporting children and youth with disabilities in carving their own paths. What began as a personal connection evolved into a lifelong commitment. Today, he serves as president of Easter Seals Ontario, leading the very organization that once supported him. Along the way, his dedication to community work and fundraising has been recognized at the highest levels. But this conversation isn't about titles or accolades. It's about identity. It's about refusing to be defined by circumstance and what becomes possible when you shift from being supported to becoming the one who supports others. Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. I am so grateful that you are here with us today. Please welcome today's guest, Kevin Collins. So Kevin is the president and CEO of Easter Seals Ontario, which is an organization that helps children and youth with disabilities really carve out the path that they need in life. He is also the recipient of the Queen's Golden Jubilee and Queen's Silver Jubilee medals for all of his tireless work, not only in the community, but with all his fundraising. And most recently was inducted into the Canadian Disability Hall of Fame. That is quite a resume, and I only covered the surface. So welcome. It is an absolute honor to have you here today.
Thank you, Leslie. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Amazing. So you and I have only just met today, but we had one of those, I call it like small world moments, where we were introduced through a previous coworker of mine at Adidas, who is your brother-in-law. My condolences. And then as we started talking, finding out that you were a former neighbor of a dear friend of ours, and also who has been on the podcast, Tara Talbot. So super small world. So
Absolutely.
This was meant to happen.
Absolutely, for sure.
So good.
Yeah.
So this podcast is all based on one question, which is, what is one pivotal moment in your life? And the reason I chose that question was, first of all, it's universal. Everyone's got pivots. Some we choose, some are imposed upon us. And it's the stories of how people manage through those pivots, once again, whether chosen or imposed. And so I wanted to create a platform that allows people to learn from incredible people like yourself, to hear the stories, to learn more about how they've managed through their pivots. So that is today's conversation.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah. So let me ask you, let's jump right on in. What is one pivotal moment in your life?
Well, I would say back in 1976, I had the incredible pleasure of being the Easter Seal. We called them Timmies back then. They're now ambassadors. But I was chosen to be the ambassador for Easter Seals Ontario. So this is the 50th year.
Wow.
Yeah. Last week, it was the actual date 50 years ago that I was carried in on the shoulders of Whipper Billy Watson. For those that may or may not know, Whipper was a professional wrestler back in the 60s and 70s. He was involved in a serious motor vehicle accident that prevented him from wrestling further. But through his rehabilitation, he really took a shine to what kids, children, youth, and young adults have to deal with when they're dealing with a permanent disability and their rehabilitation. So he was an amazing spokesperson for Easter Seals for a vast number of years. And that opportunity to meet him, to hear his story, having him carry me on his shoulders in front of 1,200 people at the Royal York Hotel, through this room and up to the head table, we remained friends, up until his passing, and I still am very closely connected with his wife Eileen, and spend as much time as I can with her. But that moment and that year experience of knowing that having a disability was not going to prevent me from doing what I wanted to do. As I share quite often with a lot of the young kids that I get to meet through my current role, is follow your dreams and your goals. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. You're the only one that can tell you. And so, that's what drives me. And I look upon, my day when I swing my legs over the side of the bed. I have a philosophy that if I can give one child the same opportunities that I was given as a child, then it's going to be a really good day.
That is definitely a good day.
Yeah.
So you were born with cerebral palsy.
Correct.
So can you tell us what that actually means?
Yeah. So cerebral palsy is something that occurs at birth with a child. It's lack of oxygen to the brain.
Okay.
And so what ends up happening is it can impact an individual in a variety of different ways. For me, I was fortunate enough that it impacted my lower limbs. So the message coming from my brain to my legs were delayed or not getting through.
Okay.
And so for me, it then becomes muscle strength and recognizing what you can and can't do. And up until I was 8, I didn't have a walker. I was able to walk. I walk with a gateway of swinging my legs, but I was able to get around. I was able to ride a bike. Do a lot of things that every child gets an opportunity to do. And then they discovered that I was born with both my hips were dislocated.
Okay.
So the doctor thought that to prevent the swaying of the walk, they would try to put the hips back in place, but it wasn't as successful as they hoped. So I became dependent upon using a walker at a younger age, and up until probably 8-10 years ago, I had a fall and tore a rotator cuff on my right shoulder.
Okay.
And so from that moment on, for long distances, I'll use a mobility scooter just for safety sakes more than anything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's, I've lived with it all my life.
Yes.
I know no different. I've, as I say, course corrected or adjusted where I had to. I don't let anything get in my way.
No.
As a kid growing up, I had 2 able-bodied brothers who were very active in sports. And so, I was often the road hockey goaltender playing on my knees, or the back catcher, catching fastballs or doing whatever. And, followed them all the way through their sports careers and being scorekeeper, water boy, or just cheerleader.
Yes.
Timekeeper, whatever it took. I mean, sports is a big part of my world. I enjoy pretty much every sport. And so, I mean, now that with Easter Seals, we have 2 accessible summer camps that the kids get to enjoy. And a lot of sports are entrenched into what we offer them, whether it be archery, wheelchair basketball, sledge hockey, anything and everything. And the environment for these kids and the campers is set up so they can do whatever they want. If they want to rock climb, we have a rock climbing wall, we have a high ropes course. I mean, everything is set up for them to be kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you started out as a Timmy or as an ambassador when you were 8, but then walk us through like the journey to now your position as president and CEO. You've always been involved with Easter Seals to a degree?
From that moment of being, and just one step back. So prior to being the provincial Timmy, I grew up in Orillia.
Yes.
And so the local Kiwanis Club was the service club that supported Easter Seals in that community. and they had me. They had chosen me as their local Timmy for 3 years prior. So 73,
Okay.
74, 75, and it was great because I got to go on radio telethons and Santa Claus parades and
Yeah.
just a whole bunch of things that the Kiwanis group were involved with, and I'm still, to this day, I'm an active member with that club. I chose to. It's one of the ways that I can give back to an organization that were very instrumental in my
Yes.
success. But from that moment on of being the local, then provincial Timmy, I continued to volunteer where I could. So
Okay.
I would attend events and do whatever I could do. My background, education-wise, post-secondary, is in the hospitality industry.
Okay.
I worked in a hotel for almost 10 years, working my way up, the corporate ladder, the management ladder. When I left the hotel business, I was a rooms division manager for a 300-room property in Toronto.
Very nice.
So, people skills were a key part, and the confidence that I gained from the public speaking that I did when I was 12 years old as a Timmy certainly enhanced where I am today. From the hotel, and again, my continuation of volunteering, the president of Easter Seals at the time came to me at one time and he said, like, "Why are you not working for us?" And I'm like,
I don't know.
I really don't know much about events or anything. And he's like, "You're at everything we do." So that was a pivotal turning point for me. So
Yes.
1991, I left the hotel business that I thoroughly enjoyed and joined Easter Seals. So I joined them as their manager of corporate and special events, and
Okay.
got to look after, responsible for a number of their signature events, including the Consummate Sports Celebrity Dinner, which
Well, that's a big deal.
when I was the Timmy, that it was the 25th year, and March 5th is our 75th annual dinner. So
That's
it's
incredible.
it's kind of scary when you put the numbers together. But again, I work with Easter Seals directly, managing corporate and special events from 91 to 99. And during that time frame, I was kind of the liaison person for Easter Seals and an organization called Friends of We Care, which is
Okay.
now We Care Canada.
Okay.
But they're made up of members from the food service and hospitality industry.
Okay.
So manufacturers, distributors, and operators coming together as one to help the kids. And what they do is they raise funds through a number of different initiatives to support Easter Seal camps across Canada.
Okay.
So they approached me and said, "Look, we're at a crossroads. Would you consider coming over and being our executive director?" So I took on, and I thought it was kind of like a full circle for me. My hospitality background, going to an organization that was based through the food service and hospitality industry, and still supporting Easter Seals. And so I was their executive director for 18 years. And then I was approached by the board of directors of Easter Seals prior to 2017 and said, "Look, our president is retiring. Would you consider coming back?" And so celebrated 9 years on the end of January that I've been in this role.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really good. So your background is in hospitality. So doing all the work with Friends of We Care, which is now We Care, you have done a ton of fundraising and you have learned about events. And so part of the recognition that you received was with the Queen's Golden Jubilee and Silver Jubilee. So I had never heard of that before. So tell me more about what those medals are and what they mean to you.
Well, they are, as they represent, they're presented on behalf of the Queen at the time.
Okay.
And they are recognizing individuals across Canada that are contributors to society. And it's a variety of different ways. It could be from being research to events to a whole different gamut. They have the application process, from what I understand, is there's various categories that individuals are chosen, but it's a recognition by your peers of what you're contributing, and it fits within the gamut of what is expected as far as the application process with Her Majesty the Queen. Yeah.
That is an incredible honor.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just recently were inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like?
That was an unbelievable experience.
I can only imagine.
I've been involved with obviously in my field, and again, you don't do it for the recognition.
No.
It's a passion, but to be recognized by your peers and colleagues for your efforts and what you're doing is truly amazing. I mean, for me, the full circle moment was knowing individuals like Terry Fox,
Yes.
Rick Hansen, and Whipper Billy Watson are, part of the inductees in the Hall of Fame. And so getting that opportunity to be inducted as an achiever, there's 3 categories, and the achiever category was where I was inducted into, and so it's there's the Hall of Fame is down at Metro Hall in downtown Toronto, and there's a caricaturist photo and plaque and everything set up there. I've seen the plaque prior to it being on display, so I look forward to, once the snow melts in July, then I'll get a chance to go down to Metro Hall and take a look. But it's
that's
incredible.
Pretty incredible company to be part of as well.
Absolutely.
Like Terry Fox and Rick Hansen and such.
That's just to name a few. There's
exactly.
so many,
and there's
so
tons,
many more.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's incredible company to keep. So when you were younger, you always volunteered. Where did that come from? Because most children that I know, that's not their go-to. That's not the first thing that they think of.
I think for me, it started, like, I grew up being a Boy Scout, a Cub, and, part of the, bottle drives and apple selling days. And that had a lot to do with it, recognizing the value and the importance of giving back and being part of giving back. And so, and then of course, my experiences of being ambassadors or Timmys, both locally and provincially, getting to meet some incredible people who devote their time and effort to giving back. And so it's, through high school, obviously couldn't or didn't be part of the sport world, but student council all the way. Like, I started out grade 9 and worked my way up. When grade 12, I was the president of student council. And, so just always wanted to be part in giving back.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You must have got some of that also from your family, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were, and my brothers, were incredible supporters of giving me free rein.
Yes.
They're obviously very proud of any and all of the achievements, and being a parent and being a sibling of a child with a disability can create some challenges, because again, not knowing what you can and can't do. Vacations are very different. Just having to always plan differently going forward, right?
Yes.
And so, the one thing for me that, because not being able to be involved in sports, Easter Seals provides summer camp.
Okay.
And so as a child, I got to go for 8 summers. And that was my opportunity to be the best of what I wanted to be at, whether it be sports, arts and crafts, whatever, theater. But, circling back to my parents, they were always there supportive. I wouldn't say that they took upon, they didn't lead the way from a volunteer, but they didn't prevent me from doing it.
Okay.
Right. And I know that they gained as much out of it as I did, as did my brothers. The one thing that I can circle back with Billy Watson and his involvement, he was he made sure that the siblings were involved as much as possible so that they didn't feel left out.
Yes.
And so, I still, unfortunately, my one brother is no longer with us, but my younger brother. He attends a lot of the events. He gets voluntold a lot, and same as Maria, my
Yes.
wife, who I'm sure we'll talk about. But I mean, it's a big family commitment,
Yes.
and we joked about Sal earlier on, but we joke about the fact that marrying into Sal's family and with Maria, we made a choice.
Yes.
Right. And so part of that decision, part of that choice is you got to be part of what I do.
Right.
And so, the family gets to participate in a number of different things and just kind of be involved.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure their kids are all involved as well, right? It becomes an entire community
Absolutely.
involvement.
You want to hang around Uncle Kev? Guess what?
Guess what?
You're going to learn. But it's good for them because for anybody, because it gives them an opportunity to see the pure value of giving up a little bit of your time and getting to meet some of the younger kids that have disabilities.
Yes.
And the nephews and nieces and now their kids. Uncle Kev was always the favorite because he comes in with a scooter and it was like I was an amusement ride. I'm giving kids a ride and sometimes it's 2 or 3 at a time.
Right,
And it
of
gets to a
course.
point where this can't happen
Yes,
anymore.
no, not
Uncle
anymore.
Kev doesn't have the strength to do this anymore. But yeah, no, it's family is so important, and whether it's just, a mentoring or educating, just making sure that they understand the values of, if they see a child with a disability, it's not going to be something new for them. They're going to understand and get it, and it just makes life a lot easier for them and for the kids that they come upon.
And so how large is Easter Seals Ontario? Like, can you talk a little bit about the organization, how big it is, how many children you're working with?
So our current caseload is just over 5,000 kids in the province of Ontario.
Wow.
Easter Seals Ontario is an organization. We've been around for 104 years. 1922 when it originated, and I look good for 104. Right?
You look really good. Well done.
Yeah, it's a lot of makeup. But in all seriousness, I mean, the organization has stayed true to its roots, supporting children, youth, and young adults with physical disabilities. We have 3 main pillars that we look after right now: funding for mobility and accessibility equipment, as well as owning and operating our 2 summer camps.
Yes.
And then the third pillar is post-secondary scholarships. So our Easter Seals, from birth up to the age of 19, a child is eligible.
Okay.
They're eligible for a certain amount of funding per year. They're eligible for 1 session at camp, and that's all funded through our organization. And then we have a number of incredible donors that, like this year alone, we have 29 scholarships, just about $50,000 that we'll give out in the next couple of months for kids going on to post-secondary in the fall.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and what's unique about the organization, Leslie, is 100% of the funding that we generate comes from the public and corporates. We have no government support.
Oh.
So 100% of what we do is grassroots.
Okay.
Yeah. And so either through fundraising, through events, or foundations and corporation contributions. It's quite an amazing. Our direct mail program is highly successful. Our digital programs are highly successful. So yeah, we raise currently $12 million annually. And we could always, if I had $20 million to spend, I could spend it in a heartbeat on the demand from the kids and families in today's world.
Okay, I'm actually quite shocked. $12 million is a lot, but 5,000 children is also a lot.
Yeah. Those are the ones that have reached out.
That have reached out.
Yeah.
So they're still.
They don't have the means. The families don't have the means to have the support. And the one thing that we don't means test. We don't look for, like, are you making this amount of money?
Okay.
If a child is in need, we're going to do whatever we can to support.
Okay. And so the direct mail campaign that you have, that goes right across
Right across the province.
right across the province. Everyone's home.
Yep.
And what does that, is that asking for donations?
Yep.
Yes.
So
okay.
largely, I mean, the word Easter seals,
Yes.
people quite often say, how did that come about? So
Right.
every March is a kickoff of Easter Seals Month.
Okay.
And part of that is our seals. So what happened back in the early 30s, 1930s, they would send out seals that people could then attach to their mail.
So good.
And that's how the donations, like people, and again, mail obviously back then and up until, a few years ago was most prominent,
Yes,
and so people would use those seals and put it on the back of their envelopes or the front of their envelopes, and it would, it would go out and they would make a donation, and then the direct mail program not only, looks for direct donations within our mailing now. We share stories from our families and our kids. And so the donor gets to see and hear or read about where their funding is going.
Right.
And then, the other thing is we look to convert those direct mail donors to monthly donors.
Okay, yes,
and so
which helps.
if you're in a position where it's easier to, instead of giving a one time, we can do it monthly. And then, obviously from there, then, we're looking for the donor to become a legacy donor, have as part of their philanthropic world moving forward. And so there's a number of ways that people can contribute, but that's how it, and direct mail back in the days was a significant part of our annual contributions. There's, with Canada Post hitting us 2 years in a row on a strike,
unfortunately.
there's been a number of, people that, have not been able to contribute. Because of our longevity, we have a lot of donors who, faithful donors who are not comfortable putting their credit card on a computer or writing it down.
Yes.
We still get checks, we still get cash, which is, which is fine. I mean,
great.
any way that people can support,
Exactly.
we're very appreciative.
That's amazing. Okay, so we're heading into March. So are there events happening?
March 5th is the kickoff. It's our 75th annual Conn Smythe Sports at Liberty dinner.
That's incredible.
And so that event is the introduction of our new provincial ambassadors.
Okay.
So a young lady and a young gentleman will be introduced that night. Rod Black is our master of ceremonies.
Beautiful.
We've got Renata Fost, who will come with a silver medal.
Yes, she will.
She'll be part of the head table. This year, the last few years, we've created an opportunity to recognize key individuals. So the honorary Lifetime Achievement Award this year will be presented to Wendell Clark.
Oh,
so Wendell and Doug Gilmore will be there, obviously. Adam Copeland. I don't know if everybody remembers Adam Copeland, but Adam is a former WWE wrestler.
Okay.
Big fan of Wendell's, and so he will be there. Paul Bezonet will be on the head table. And then we have one of our Paralympians, Renee Fassel, who shot put.
Yes.
She won bronze in Paris. And Renee is a former ambassador of We Care, good friend of both Maria and I. And so she'll be joining us as a head table guest as well. Yeah.
That is a pretty impressive list of guests.
Yeah,
well done.
We'll have about 800 people at the Royal York Hotel on March the 5th, and excited about that opportunity. And then from there, our seals mailing will go out early March.
Okay.
And then we have part of our signature events, what I would call signature events. We've got 3 basically snow-ramas, which obviously this year are doing very well because of the amount of snow.
Yes.
But then we also have our Dancing with the Easter Seal Stars. We have 10 of those events across the province.
Okay.
At the end of February 27th, I'll be making the truck to Sudbury. They'll be celebrating their 15th year of doing that event. That's where it originated in Sudbury, and it's growing across the province and most of the major cities now.
Yes.
And then the other big signature event is our Celebrity Hockey Classic. So we do 11 of those across the province. And what happens is teams will register and they have an opportunity to raise funds, and the highest fundraising team gets their first choice of an NHL alumni. So we'll have a representative, an NHL alumni person available for every team. And then, Wendell, Doug, Curtis Joseph, Ray Bork. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Patrick Waugh, Andre Waugh. The number of people that give up their time and come out and be part of our event. So, it's an exciting time.
That is very
We do
exciting.
55 events across the province annually. Yeah.
That is a lot of organization.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing the amount of ambassadors that you have, though. But the work that you're doing, it's literally changing lives. It's so incredibly valuable. And so as you look at sort of the legacy that you have, because you're so ingrained in the Easter Seals organization, not just as president and CEO, but all the work that you've been doing. What's the one thing I would think that you've learned about the community within Easter Seals?
How generous.
Yes.
From a donor perspective. Once we have an individual within, whether it be a direct connect, knowing a child with a disability, or coming in as a participant or sponsor or volunteer and hearing the stories from our ambassadors, our kids, families, very, very rarely do they leave. Their contributions continue going forward. And so we're very fortunate from that perspective. People understand, when the way the system is set up right now, the provincial government offers a program called the Assistant Devices Program that offers up to 75% funding towards certain pieces of equipment, so mostly mobility aids, wheelchairs, walkers.
Right.
Some kids, their wheelchairs are $40,000 to $50,000 because of their needs.
Okay.
So that 25% is where we kick in.
That's a lot.
But you would be amazed, Leslie, at the number of pieces of equipment that are not part of the ADP program. Essential pieces like toileting aids, shower aids, ramps, like certain things that ADP doesn't cover. They don't feel that they are essential. So quite a number of our funding requests are for those very important pieces of equipment.
Understood. Yes.
To provide independence and dignity for a child to be able to bath, shower, use the toilet
safely.
Yeah. Those are key things that families are looking to us to help.
Absolutely. And so is any of the work that you do talking to the government and trying to advocate?
Yes. Yeah, that's a big part of my role.
That must be quite a bit of your day. Yes.
As I joke with my board, I said, let me go into Queen's Park. I can walk the talk. And so, so I spend a significant amount of time
lobbying.
Lobbying and just making sure that they understand.
Yeah. It's awareness.
Yeah. And extending, it's easy to be able to extend an invitation, come out to one of our events, but where I really find it most impactful is if I can get them to come to camp.
Okay.
Because for me, camp is my one-stop shop. I can bring you in and you can see firsthand the kids using the equipment that we've funded, but also watching them learn life skills, independence, and dignity. They're in an environment where they're surrounded by other kids who are dealing with very similar challenges that they are on a daily basis. So there's no finger pointing, there's no staring, it's sharing.
Yes.
And, I can tell you endless stories of parents initially are somewhat apprehensive of having their child go to camp on their own because who else can look after their child like they can?
Yes. Understood.
So what we have in our programs is we offer a family camp. And what that does is it allows the families and siblings to come with the child.
Right.
And it gives the families an opportunity to see firsthand the importance of, they're going to be well taken care of. We have the medical staff on hand.
Right.
We have the program people on hand. And they get to watch their child achieve
Right.
and be part of. And, the siblings get to participate as well. So, and then quite often after one or two family camp sessions, the child doesn't want their parents with them anymore. We often joke because, when the child arrives at camp, there's emotion from the parents. Like,
Yes.
I'm leaving my child for, 8 to 10 days. And then when the parents come back to pick them up, the child is crying because they don't
Right.
want to leave. and so it's great. And I
That's
mean, the
really
fact that
good.
we're able to offer these opportunities, it's, I joke about the fact that it's like a battery rejuvenation for me when I get to go to camp. But circling back, from our government relations
Yes.
and advocacy, having members see firsthand
You're right.
the importance of
Right.
what Easter Seals has done and continues to do, I think it helps us go a long way, and them recognizing we don't come to them at this point for funding.
Okay.
We are a true partner of theirs,
Right. Okay.
and so we just want to make sure that it costs an enormous amount of money to keep those camps going,
I can only
from
imagine.
capital restoration to updating equipments,
Right.
and so when we need support, if there's an opportunity, please help us, keep this great thing. We've been in the camping business for 88 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
So and I don't plan on, as long as I'm at the helm,
It's not changing.
not changing.
Not changing at all.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. Well, good luck with your advocacy.
Thank you.
Because it would be good to see some funding coming your way, at least as a baseline. But more than anything, some of those things you've listed, like ramps and toilet accessories, those to me seem like kind of table stakes.
Yeah.
That
Well, and if I may, one of the most important things that we come away from with the camps is the respite for the parents. Quite often, a child with a disability is 24/7, 365 days a year care.
okay, yes.
So having the ability to know that there's a place where their child can go, be safe, be independent, learn life skills, and it gives the parents and their siblings a break.
Yes, a break. Okay.
And so, my ultimate goal over the next year or so is to open up an opportunity to have our camps year-round respite centers, because there's a desperate need for respite and care. So,
Yes.
and that's where the provincial government, the federal government's going to play a big hand in helping us fund that,
Absolutely.
because it's not cheap hiring nursing PSWs,
No, not at all.
and so basically, if we can show them the importance of having this respite for these families, I think it'll go a long way in helping us get there.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's a ripple effect, right? Within the community, within the family, and beyond.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My last question for you is this. What would be your words of wisdom for our audience?
Being born with a disability, I mean, for me, I've always said, don't be shy of your disability. Share your disability. Let people know what you can do versus what you can't do. Because what I've learned from a very young age is, if you show the ambition of wanting to achieve, there are so many incredible people out there that will help you along that path. And so, that goes from being a donor, from being a volunteer, from being an advocate. I mean, it's just, you got to want to do it, and that goes not only for the individual with the disability, but for the parents themselves, and it's a struggle. I mean, there's always bumps in the road. There's always curbs. There's always something that's going to force an individual with a disability to course correct or adjust accordingly. But again, we're working feverishly with AODA, trying to get everything set up so that new builds, are set up appropriately so that, it makes it a level playing field for everybody. I mean, the one part that I quite often say when I'm in my meetings with government is that, sure, I'm coming to you speaking, representing children, youth, and young adults with disabilities. But as we as citizens age out,
yes,
as we become seniors, we are going to need all of this.
Right.
So it's not just kids.
No.
It's going to be everybody. We all have parents. We all have grandparents, aunts and uncles, ourselves. So let's create a world. Let's create an environment where we're set up for everybody to succeed, whether you're young or at the later stages of your life. So again, creating a level playing field.
Yes. That's amazing. Well, I wish you nothing but success with Easter Seals. I am sure having you at their helm is making a big difference because you do walk the talk, right? And having been involved with the organization for so many years, the passion that you bring to it, the incredible experience with community involvement and fundraising is just creating such an impact in the community. So thank you for everything that you do today, what you have done, and I know what you will continue to do, because it's making a big difference in people's lives, and forever grateful for that. And I really, really appreciate you coming and having this conversation.
Oh, my pleasure. And again, if I can end it off, it takes a village, as I said at the get-go, I was very, very fortunate to have a number of people support me. And, I've been happily married to Sal's sister, Maria, for 34, it'll be 34 years this August. And so she's a huge, huge supporter of everything that I do and the entire family. So, but again, you create an environment where people want to be part of what you're doing.
Yes.
And I'm just so appreciative of everybody that's been part of my life up to this point and moving forward.
Fantastic. Well, nothing but the best, really.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. What a conversation with Kevin. He truly embodies his mantra of not being shy about his disability, but instead sharing it. The work he is doing is helping others with disabilities. It's just so incredible. And yet it continues to pose challenges as funding doesn't come that easily. But his advocacy with all levels of government is definitely making an impact. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about. And be sure to subscribe so you can continue to hear more pivotal stories involving one question, one turning point, one powerful story. I'll see you next week with another guest on the Leslie Hawkins Podcast.